Okay, zebras, it's on to the next chapter. You just finished taking your chapter test, chapter 9, the fractions chapter. Now we're back into another chapter, chapter 10, and it's going to be about expressions and equations, okay? A little bit kind of like algebra, but it's not algebra, so don't get to thinking that. It's like a step below algebra, like you're getting ready to start algebra. Okay, so this is not as hard as you think, okay? And I just remembered something I need to do very quickly. I gotta shut this door, or someone might come in and interrupt the video. Sorry, if I could pause it, I would, but it doesn't let me pause it. It only lets me stop it. Okay, so here we go. Expression. You know what expression is? When you say something with expression, you can say it's sad. You can say it happy. You can say it scared. Okay, those are expressions in language, but in math, it's not quite so dramatic. An expression in math is a mathematical phrase made up of numbers, operation signs, and sometimes variables. So think of it as add is happy because it's so easy. Divide is sad because you guys don't like division. Okay, so there's just different expressions, different operations. Those are actually operations. Okay. So we could say 20 plus 4 is a mathematical expression, a mathematical phrase. 56 divided by 9. 3, remember what that dot means? 3 times p, the unknown number. You don't know what that number is. You have to figure out what it is. 38 times the difference between 11 and 5. Whenever you see parentheses, what does that mean? That means you're supposed to do them first, remember? So you really should have done 11 minus 5, and it would be 38 times 6, right? Okay. So those are expressions. Then we have equations. Equation is a mathematical sentence with two expressions that are equal. So you have something on both sides of the equal sign that equal each other. 4 times 12 is the same as 48 because that's the answer, right? 7 plus a, we don't know what that a is, you'd figure it out, equals 10. Can you figure out what that a would be then if it equals 10? 7 plus what equals 10? 3. So that means the unknown number, the unknown digit here is 3. So 7 plus 3 equals 10. 3 plus 8 is the same as 5 plus 6. Remember how we did that? Because 3 plus 8 equals 11, and 5 plus 6 equals 11. So 3 plus 8 equals 5 plus 6 because they both equal 11. 3 times 4 is the same as 4 times 3, right? Okay, so these are called equations when you have something on both sides of the equal signs. Over here, you don't see any equal signs. These are just expressions. Okay, that's really the difference. They both start with E. Okay, let me get this. There we go. All right, so it says to write 3 different mathematical expressions for this number. Okay, so in other words, all of these have to equal 12. So make up anything you want to that would equal 12. I know what you're thinking, real easy, 11 plus 1, right? Or we could have, say I already used division, let's use one of the others. Do you want to use subtraction or multiplication? Let's do multiplication. You want 1 times 12, 2 times 3, 6, 3 times 4, which one you want? 4 times 3, 6 times 2? Okay, I heard you, you want 6 times 2. Okay, so these are expressions that all equal 12. How about expressions for 21? You could say 21 minus 0. Okay. Can we divide something? Sure. We can do, well, that'd have to be really big, but 42 divided by 2 is 21. Or we could say, maybe you're thinking 7 times 3. Or we can add 2 numbers. 11 plus what would equal 21? 10. Good. Okay. Now over here to 15. Mine's going off the page, but you can still see it. Okay, 15, we could do 5 times 3. We could do 30 divided by 2 because half of 30 is 15, right? Or we could do 18 minus 3 equals 15. There's an endless number of answers you could put there. If you want to put a different one besides the ones I put, go for it. And I'll look at your paper and see how you did, okay? So there's endless possibilities on these for the most part. At least for addition and subtraction for sure. And division, you could go forever on that. As far as multiplication though, those are a set number. That's interesting. Never thought of that before. Okay. Oh, there's another one. My bad. You know what? I'm going to leave this one for you. Number 4, I want you guys to do. Come up with your own. Okay? We did the rest, but you do that one. All right, now over here to number 5. Greater than or less than or equal to. Okay? 4 times 12, you have to do the problem and figure out what it equals. 4 times 12 is what? That's 48. And 8 times 5 is 40. So which one is bigger? This one. So put the large gap by the largest number. The tiny little point by the smallest number. Let's keep going down this row because it's easier to see. 30 minus 9 is 21. 7 times 3 is 21. So these two are equal. Okay, 0 times 76. Uh-oh, big number, but it's 0, people. 0 times anything in the entire universe is 0. 72 plus 4 is 76. So we know this one's going to be this way. Everything's bigger than 0, right? Okay, and by the way, you don't need those numbers there. You just need to write those. Okay, 2 plus 11, 13. 24 minus 10. If you don't know the answer, you can do this. Okay, so this is 13, this is 14, so this one is bigger. Okay, so there are 13 of those. I did 3 of them with you. Not 13 of those, 9 of those. I did 4 with you, and I want you guys to finish the section on your own. Okay, then, oh, well, let's look at, all right, I'll do 2 more with you just because you might be confused. Don't forget about the parentheses. I'll do this very last one with you. That means you guys do the rest. Anytime you see parentheses, you got to do it first. Order of operations. Parentheses goes first. 10 plus 5 is 15, and then subtract 5, which equals 10 total. Okay? 10 plus 2 is 12, then subtract 2, which equals 10. Okay? So we have 10 on this side, 10 on this side, so these two are equal. Okay, so when you do this one up here, make sure you do this parentheses, get the answer, this parentheses, get the answer, then you add them together. Okay, if you go straight across, it might not work the same. All right, now go down to 14, 15, 16, 17. We're going to write a mathematical expression for these. Okay, so it has to make sense. You can't just make it up this time. James sold 2 of the 8 puppies. So he had 8, and if he sold 2, what operation would that be? He would minus 2, right? And you don't even have to write the whole answer because expressions don't necessarily have an equal sign. Okay? Lucy made 6 more than 2 dozen cookies. Okay, what's 2 dozen equal? How much is a dozen? 12 and 2, 12 times 2 is 24, and she made 6 more. So you're going to write 24 plus 6, or 6 plus 24. Either way works. Okay? The winning team scored twice as many points. Do we know how much the other team scored? No. So it's an unknown number. So it's going to be 2 of that. You can give it whatever letter you want. Scored twice as many points. I'm going to do 2P because it's 2 times the amount of points. You could do 2M, 2W, 2A. You choose the letter. Doesn't matter. 2P, and when you put them next to each other, that means to multiply them. Or you could also do 2 times P or 2 times P. Your choice. 2P, 2 times P, or 2 dot P. That dot means multiplication. Any one of those is correct. Okay, 17. The temperature rose 5 degrees above freezing. Now this one you got to know what freezing is. Okay, and it doesn't say it has to be Fahrenheit or Celsius, so you can use whichever one you want. Okay, I'm going to use Celsius. What's Celsius in freezing? 0. So the temperature rose 5 degrees. That means it went up. So it was 0 degrees, and it rose 5 degrees. So 0 plus 5. I guess I should, since it's temperature, we should probably put 0 degrees Celsius plus 5 degrees Celsius. That's a better expression. Okay, then it says Gabe placed the fruit into 8 baskets, but it doesn't say how much fruit. Okay, so that means Gabe placed the fruit into 8 baskets. So that means you're going to take 8 baskets and divide it by an unknown number. Since it's fruit, I'm going to say F. Okay, 8 divided by F. So if the fruit was 16, it would be like, or no, let's see. That's going to be, oh my bad. It's going to be F divided by 8. Because if F was 16, then we would say 16 divided by 8 baskets. Do you see? So I had that backwards. So an unknown letter, you can do what other letter you want again, divided by 8. Okay, I keep dropping my eraser. All right, now next section. Some story problems. It says Amelia separated 40 flowers into 5 vases. How many flowers were in each vase? So let's do our story problem. Our expression would be 40 into 5. So it's going to be 40 divided by 5. Everyone write that. But we need to know the answer this time because it says how many flowers are in each vase. What's 40 divided by 5? 8. 8 flowers each. Okay? Then it says the kindergarten teachers emptied boxes of 8 markers into plastic containers. I'm going to go ahead and do this one right here underneath it. 8 markers into plastic containers. There were 200 markers in all. How many boxes did they empty? So on this one down there, you're going to write 200 divided by 8 because they put 8 markers into each container. So how many boxes did they end up with? Okay, so 200 divided by 8 equals what? And I'm going to go over here somewhere where you can see it and do 200 divided by 8. Okay, 8 doesn't go into 2. Go over to 20. 8 times what is something close to 20? 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. Too much. So go back to 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Okay, what's 20 minus 16? It's 4. Or you could borrow 2, 1, then it's 10 minus 6. 1 minus 1 is nothing. It's smaller, so bring down. 8 goes into 40 5 times. Can you see that answer? Barely. So 200 divided by 8 equals 25 what? How many boxes? 25 boxes. Usually the unit measure, the label that we need is usually in the question, usually. Okay, so 20 divided by 8, 200 divided by 8 is 25 boxes. Okay, now let's look at these two. I'm going to try to raise it up higher this time. Logan increased his math score by 5 points by answering the bonus correctly. His final score was 92 points. What was his original score? So it says that he got an extra 5 points for doing the bonus, and he ended up with a 92. So without that bonus, we would subtract it. 92 minus 5 equals, and again, you can either do this in your head if you're good at that. If not, you do it this way. Borrow from the 9, 8 makes that 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. 8 minus nothing is 8. So that means she got an 87. 87 points originally until she got that bonus. The bonus bumped her up to an A minus. Okay? Oh man, I did that whole thing without you seeing what I was doing. I'm so sorry. Okay, so 92 minus 5, the only thing I did here that you didn't really see, I said it all, was I did this problem. Take 1 away so that you can subtract 5 from 12. 7, 8 minus nothing is 8. Okay? Then, down here, now I need to move it down. Sorry about that. Mrs. Clark ordered 12 pizzas for the school party. Each pizza had 8 slices. How many slices were ordered? 12 pizzas times 8 pieces in each pizza. And what's 12 times 8? Right, 96 slices, because this is how many slices were ordered. Not 96 pizzas, 96 slices were ordered. Okay, that's the front side of our paper. Now turn it over to the back. Okay, at the top it says, use the given operation to write a mathematical expression for the value. Okay, so we have to come up with 4 different problems using this number in it. Okay, to come up with 4 different problems, each with a different operation for this. Okay, so it's supposed to equal this. Okay, so we could do 7 plus 7 for 14. Or you could do 10 plus 4, 11 plus 3, whatever you want to put there. Okay, for minus, it has to equal 14. So if we could do something like 14 minus 0, that will equal 14. Or you could do 15 minus 1, 16 minus 2, your choice. Endless, except for multiplication, the rest are all endless possibilities. So have fun. What times what would equal 14? 1 times 14, 2 times 7, 0 times 14 equals 0 though, so don't use that one. 2 times 7, 7 times 2, 14 times 1, you choose. Okay, but that one there's only like 4 different answers possible. The rest of them you can do infinity numbers. Okay, something divided by something equals 14. Has to equal 14. So you can do 14 divided by 1, that's 14 candy bars. You're dividing it amongst yourself. If you're an only child, you don't have to share. So 14 divided by 1 would be 14. Or let's say you have 2 kids in your family, 28 pieces of candy divided by 2 kids in the family would get 14. Or you can go higher if you want. Okay, 19, same thing. 19 though is a prime number, so maybe a little harder to come up with. Like for instance, multiplication, we have nothing times nothing that equals 19, except for 19 times 1 or 1 times 19. That's the only 2 you can use for that one because it's a prime number. But the rest of these you should be able to come up with as many as you want. Okay, so what plus what would equal 19? Whatever number you want. I like to keep it simple. 10. This is one number is 10 and this number is 9. So 10 plus 9 is 19. Okay. If you throw a few extra numbers on here, I'm going to add 4 to it. That would be 23. So 23 minus 4 equals 19. Okay. You can do whatever one you want. And divided by, it's either going to be 19 divided by 1 or something bigger. 19 times 2 is 38. 19 times 3 is 57. I'm going to do that one. 57 divided by 3, I think. Yeah. Okay? So you can do whichever ones you want. I did those 2 with you. Then you need to do the rest of them on your own because the rest of them, some of the numbers are bigger, but it's not that hard. And there's, like I said, most of them have endless answers. Just make sure that your answer equals the number in the box. Okay? Otherwise, it's easy. You have to make them up as you want. All right, and then we have another one of these. And this time, it's not greater than, less than, equal to. It's what operation do you need to get that answer? Okay, so is it 7 plus 3 equals 10? Nope. 7 minus 3 equals 21, I mean, sorry. I said 7 plus 3 is 10 and that was right, sorry. 7 times 3 is 21? Yes, so you're going to write times. Okay. 32 plus 10 equals 22? Nope. 32 minus 10 equals 22? Yes. Okay. 10, oh, look at that. 10 plus 10 plus 10. So our answer here is going to be what? 30, right? So think 30. 10 minus, or excuse me, plus 3 is 30? Nope. 10 minus 3 is 30? Nope. 10 times 3 is 30? Yep. Okay. Then 20 something by 2 plus 5 equals 15. Okay? So think of it this way. In order to get this to be 15, you take out the 5, okay? And that means this has to equal 10 because it's something plus 5. So take out that 5 to make that a 10 because we know we have to add 5. So this would have to equal 10 over here because 10 plus 5 is 15, right? So in these parentheses, we got to make it worth 10. Can you guys see? It's kind of crooked, isn't it? Okay, so 20 plus 2 equals 10? Nope. 20 minus 2 equals 10? Nope. 20 times 2 equals 10? Nope. All the way to division. 20 divided by 2 equals 10? Yes. Okay, do you see that? So you had to do a little bit of thinking for that one. Okay, over here, 64 plus, how many of these are there? You know what? These are easy. Those are easy ones. Let's go over to the last. I'll let you guys do the middle ones this time, and I'll do the outside ones, because really these with the parentheses are really the only ones that are very hard at all. Okay, so 9 plus 9 is 18. Yes, first time. Okay, 63 something 7 equals 3 times 3. What does 3 times 3 equal? 9. So we need this to equal 9. 63 plus 7, 63 minus 7, 63 times 7, 63 divided by 7 is 9. Yes, because 9 times 7 is 63, right? Okay, then this time we need it to equal whatever that equals. What's 6 times 3? That's 18. So 9 plus 9 is 18. Huh, just like up there. Okay, and then we got to do a little bit of math here beforehand. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, so 12 plus 8 or 12 minus 8, whatever equals this. What's 2 times 10? 20. Okay, so 12 something 8 has to equal 20. Is 12 plus 8 20? Yes, they did easy ones on that. I thought that was going to be harder. Okay, so I just want you to do this middle section by yourself so that I can see if you're getting them or not. All right, then come down here to the bottom. Now we're going to do story problems. And we have to pick an equation from the box that helps you do the problem. Okay? So it says Gavin brought, can you see that? Gavin brought 3 packages of fruit bars to the game. How many fruit bars did he bring if there were 6 bars in each package? Okay, so what will we need to figure this out? We need to do 3 plus 6? No, there's 6 packages with 3 each in it. So 6 minus 3? No. 6 times 3? Yes. Okay, so it's an unknown number. Which one of these is 6 times 3? This one. 3 times 6, 6 times 3, same difference, right? So write 3 times 6 equals n, because that's what it says. Let's cross that one off. We used it. And then it says we have to solve it. So 3 times 6, so we're going to do 3 times 6 equals 18. That's the answer. We figured out what n was. Okay? Now for 42, each of the 6 team members drank 2 sports drinks. The coach drank 3 sports drinks. How many bottles of sports drink did they use? Okay, so 6 of them drank 2, so we have a 6 times 2, and it says the coach drank 3. How many bottles did they use altogether? So is there something over here that says 6 times 2 and add 3 more? Right there. 6 members, 2 each, plus 3. So let's write that over here. 2 times 6 in parentheses plus 3 equals n. Okay, and we know that 2 times 6 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. So we're going to write n equals 15. Okay, see how we're kind of doing a little bit of an algebra prep stuff here? Okay, cross off this one. Okay, and then I'm going to just read this. Well, I wish this box would stay put while I move this, but that's okay. The team increased the score by 6 points in the last quarter. The final score was 18 points. What was their score before the last quarter? Okay, so final score is 18, and they scored 6 right before, and we want to know what it was before that. So 18 minus 6, which one of these would that be? Yep, right there. 18 minus n equals 6. Let me read that again. The team increased the score by 6 points in the last quarter. The final score was 18 points. So what was their score? It should be 18 minus 6. I think it's going to be this one, because this one will do what you have to do, 18 minus 6 to get this number, right? Yes. So you have to do n, whoops, sorry. I gotta move back down here. N plus 6 equals 18, okay? So we don't know what this number equals, but we know that this is the third quarter, plus 6 more in the last quarter gave them 18. So see, this is the same problem, and we have to figure out what n is. So we go backwards. still feel like that's wrong. No, that's right. So we go backwards. 18 minus 6 is 12. So this would be equal 12 plus 6 equals 18. Sorry, see, it even twists my brain sometimes. So n equals 12. They had 12 in the third quarter. They scored 6 more in the fourth quarter, which gave them a final score of 18. So n plus 6 equals 18. Okay, that one was a little trickier. The very last one was a little trickier. Okay, so that's this page. And you just need to go back and finish just a little bit of it on your own and attach it to the bottom of the page. See you later. Maybe. I lost you. I don't know where I am. There we go. Haha. See you later.